Alright folks, another unboxing video. I actually don't have that many unboxing videos to do this weekend, which is kind of good. Won't cut into my my free time. But yeah, not sure what's in here. This came from Amazon, and could be anything. Hopefully it's another power supply. We are running low on power supplies here. And oh, not really the power supply I was really wanting, but this might do. So this is a Venus power supply by Apevia, and I've tried out Astro and Raptor, and luckily we haven't had any problems with them being DOA. You'll read the reviews are actually pretty negative about these guys. There's not a whole lot of positives. It seems like most people lose their power supply after a couple months, or they don't lose it at all. So the sad thing is, out of all those reviews, you just don't have a clue how many people are happy. So I would think, for this company's sake, if you are happy with your power supply by these guys, leave them a positive review. Alright, so yeah, I bought this because it was super cheap, folks. 20 some bucks. And you know, if it goes south, I can live with it. If it takes out some other components, I won't be too happy about that. So you will definitely hear about it from me if that happens. Alright, so pretty sure we have 500 water, so we'll be down here, but let's get it out and we will actually talk about what's included. So there is our power cable, which I gotta say, it'd be nice if some of these companies would provide longer power cables. This one looks like it's decent, but it is relatively short. Let me think here. Okay, so it's less than 4 feet long, I'd say. Probably between 36 and, we'll say between 36 and 48 inches. All right. It's always nice to have a longer power cord. All right, so things that I notice, you know, if you watch the fan or you're a friend of the channel, there's your screws. They have really dinky screws compared to the EVGA ones, but that's another story. So, if you know this channel, you know I love the EVGA. So hey, if you're out there at EVGA watching this, I'd love it if you'd sponsor me. Yeah. We could use the sponsor. Alright, so this guy is got one thing in particular I really like, the dual fan thing here. So those of you that may be watching this for your Dell Vostro 3670, this is a reason you might want this, is the dual fans. Now I currently don't have the Dell Vostro 3670 available to me to test this out, but if this happens to fit in there, this will possibly alleviate the issue with the fan blowing into the case. Of course, it still will blow into the case, but the bigger exhaust fan is up here, and probably not going to cause an issue there. But differences between this and a EVGA, that actually feels like plastic, folks. No, feels like plastic, but it's just really thin sheet metal compared to a very solid EVGA. Let's go ahead and get this open. But now there's a couple things I'm going to complain about, and a couple things that make this really good for those that have bought some kind of Dell computer. So let's talk about the stuff that I don't use that much in my computers. You got the old style MOLEDs, so 2 of those on this string. 2 SATA powers, okay, so that's minimum of at least 2 newer hard drives. Now keep in mind, there are things you can do with those MOLEDs, like buy adapters that will allow you to change it to something else, and we'll talk about that in a bit. Alright, so on this cable we have 2 more MOLEDs, which is just kind of ridiculous to have that many MOLEDs. Another SATA power, and then this is a like a CPU fan connector. They've actually got it listed as FDD-X1, but yeah, I never use that. A lot of times in the case you can use one of these MOLEDs. It'll have, you know, dual power. So here we go, interesting part. So this is where this CPU fan, this case fan fails. One single 4-pin for your CPU power, and I'm trying to read what that says on it. Let's see if I get the light going. Doesn't say, but you know, these are 12 volt 4-pin, and it's always nice when you get 2 of these, because a lot of motherboards are actually have 8 or 2 4-pins. So keep that in mind if you buy this. Make sure that your motherboard doesn't need 2 of these. Okay. Now the Dell 3670, I do believe, only requires 1 of those. So now here is a nice thing, but for older cards and really powerful cards, this is not going to cut it. So you've got a 6+2 GPU power connector here, and you know, that is this being 500 watts. You should be able to get some of the RX 570s, maybe a 580. This is not going to work with a AMD Vega 56, which requires 650 watts. But or any of the older style GTX 970s, 780s, they all require a lot more power than this puts out. So you're kind of limited in what you can get with the 500 watts, but at least, you know, RX 460s and 560s and I believe 570s, things like that, you'll be okay. Alright, so then there's the 24-pin connector, and this pops off, it looks like, so it should be a 20, yeah, it's a 20+4, so depending on what you have. And that would help you if you had 20. Well, never mind, we won't go there. Alright, so that's about it, folks. I will eventually power this up, and we'll use it on something, and then we'll pray to God that it doesn't fail us. Thank you. Please like, please subscribe. Please watch more of my videos.